All right, so here we have it. We have a bunch of tweaks to the animation. As you can see, the stepping is much better now, and the stretching is much better. We can just bake it now. So how do we bake it? Well, first of all, make sure to save. Second of all, we have all those animation layers here. Let's just select them all and merge. And so that should bake them down. Now make sure that your animation is still the way you want it to be. And it is. Now those controllers are all constrained to your locators. So what you want to do here is just go edit keys, bake simulation. And as I said, it's best to just do it twice. And then you want to delete your locators. You don't need them anymore. And now verify that your animation still works correct. And so it does. Now, this rig has certain feature that might or might not be useful. There is a on the foot controllers there is like a soft IK, so you can just break that, and we can tweak it. And so like if we set it to like, I don't know, like 20 or 10, the knee pops will be much softer. So this is a nice thing about this rig that it has. Not every rig has that, but if you're overstretching and popping, the soft IK makes the knees much smoother. So let's see. And as you can see now, this is actually looking pretty good. So as you can see, the animation is ready to go. Obviously, you know, here there's some weird deformation that stems from this rig being imperfect, but it's okay. We can do another tutorial about ML deformation and how we can tweak all those little issues. Another thing that we can try to do potentially and adjust if we really want to is see how we can. So there's this thing here called an E-bend ratio, right? And that lives on the foot control. So it's this automatic shoulder, I'm sorry. So you can adjust it and see how it affects it. So like the more there is, the better it works with this particular case. So we might want to crank it to 0.8 to just have it a little bit more following the leg in this case. And the other side also could use some of that. So maybe even 0.9 of that would be useful for this particular case here. So look at that. The deformation here is a little bit more in line with what's happening. And you can also adjust that one. Automatic shoulder brake connection 0.9, and let's see how that affects it. So as you can see, with this rig being the way it is, actually I don't really like that one. Let's just do it 7.5 for this, because there is this thing here that those steps, they look a little bit worse now. Let's see if the soft IK made it a little bit more. Okay, well, we could polish that leg a little bit more. Let's do 20 and see what happens there. Okay, it's just me being an animator here and going crazy. So yeah, there you go. That looks good. Let's save this as a final version for now. And again, I showed you how to export animation using how to export the skeletal mesh from the rig. But now it's going to be about exporting the animation. Hey everyone, I'm working on my passion project, Beasts vs. Undead, a turn-based RPG inspired by classics like Heroes of Might and Magic and Age of Wonders, but with its own unique twist. If this sounds like your kind of game, I'd love your support on Patreon. By becoming a patron, you'll get exclusive access to the latest builds, stunning new artwork, in-depth game development tutorials, behind-the-scenes dev diaries, and even the opportunity to help shape the game itself. Your support means the world and helps bring this dream to life, so check out my Patreon and join the journey. But now it's going to be about exporting the animation onto that skeleton. So as you can see, the rig is referenced. So obviously we can have a script that does all this, but we're going to do it manually so you can learn. So the first thing is go to reference editor and file, import objects from reference. That will import the whole rig from reference. Next thing you want to do is go to your general editor namespace editor, and namespaces in the rig are not welcome in Unreal, so you got to delete merge with root, and that will kill it. And then as before, we know that this skeleton here is what we're interested in, right? The geometry not so much, the rig not so much. So we got to select the whole hierarchy here, and we can go edit keys, bake simulation, and that will bake our animation onto the skeleton. And as I said, it's always good to do it twice because otherwise you might run into some problems. And now basically that should be baked onto the skeleton. So then what you do, delete all by type constraints, and that will kill all the constraints. You can delete all the controls from the rig now. You can delete all the gizmos, all the do not touch. You can delete the plane if you want, or you could, keep it. But you can see now this animation only exists on the skeleton. So important thing here is to make sure that your root is unparented in the world. And if you want to keep geometry in your animation, that's optional, but you can also. It's just going to be heavier, but at least you can see it. And so this is basically what we want to export to Unreal. Skeleton, animated skeleton, that's all. You can also delete all this. And then, now you can see the skeleton animating as well. So that's your animation completely baked down. So you could save a copy of this, or you can just select all. First of all, maybe go to the hypershade and just delete unused nodes. And then with that, what you want to do is File, Export All, and you want to export a final animation here. So maybe making a new folder would make sense, or just be like a horse attack final, and you can just export it. So now it's easy to import it into Unreal and see it there. Or if you want to, you can just open it in Maya by opening your skeletal mesh, which we exported earlier. Looks like this, right? All right, and then now basically with that, import, and you can import your animation. So as you can see now, it's playing and it's deforming and it's working well. Now we can bring it to Unreal. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I've got something special for all you rigging and game dev enthusiasts out there. If you've ever wanted to master quadruped rigging from scratch, then I've got the perfect course for you. My quadruped rigging course is designed to take you from zero experience to creating fully rigged animated creature, nor prior knowledge needed. We'll go through everything, building the skeleton, skinning, creating controls, and setting up advanced rig systems. By the end of the course, you'll be able to animate your creature integrated in Unreal Engine 5, bringing your game projects to life. The course is available on my website at Cornica3D and also on Patreon. Become a member, support my work, and get access to this course and a lot more. Trust me, you won't regret it. Alright guys, so in Unreal, I'm going to use my project as an example. I have my character already there. And so this assumes that, you have your skeletal mesh imported. So like there's this SK horse that we kind of did in the last tutorial, and there's a skeleton for that horse. So now if you want to import the animation, all you have to do is File Import, and you just navigate to that folder where you saved your animation. So in my case, it's under Characters Horse, Animations, FBX, and I actually renamed it, but it's the Horse Attack animation. So I can just import it. Now here, an important thing is you can just do the default setting. You can reset the pipeline, but basically what you want to do is pick the skeleton. That's important. So if there's nothing showing up here, you need to pick the right skeleton. And in this case, we made that last time. It's the skull horse. And then you just go import. That's it, basically. And there is your animation. So if you open it up, it looks like this, right? So that's exactly what we saw in Maya. Now, if you want to have a look how it works in game after all the blueprints were hooked up, that's also an option. So I'm just gonna go to my battle editor and pick my horse. So I have a character on a horse, but that's not what I want. I want my horse, maybe brown horse. Let's get 5 of them, and let's fight another horse. We can fight skeletal horses, 5 of them. Save, and then let's go back, and we can start that battle. So here's my horse, here's the skeletal horse. Just gonna come here, and I'm gonna attack. So here's the animation. Unfortunately, the skeletal horse is better, so I've lost.